Crypto mining is set to have a really big year, and huge gains can and will be made by a ton of people if you've got the right mining hardware. But with so many different coins and so many different miners, manufacturers on the market, it's really hard to know where to start. So today I'm going to make that a lot easier for you. I'm going to go through a complete list of the miners, the ASIC miners that I would recommend for all different budgets, whether that's under $500, under $2,000, over $3,000, or all the way up to $10,000 miners. We're going to go through my best picks. I'm also going to give you a list of miners that you can run at home, or miners that I'd recommend be hosted because they're noisy, high power draw, all that sort of stuff. So today we're going to go through all of that. Do me a favor, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and we'll get straight into the video. All right, let's start off with the $200 Ice River AL0. This is an Alephium miner, 400 gigahash at 100 watts. So this is a really good starter ASIC miner for home. Really easy to set up and really cheap. I've got videos on how to set this up, so check out the links in the description if you're interested in that. But these are also pretty much silent, so they're really good to use at home. You won't hear them, you won't even know they're running, and they will be making a little bit of profit. Look, unfortunately, in this price range, as you can see, the profits are pretty slim. There's not much happening all the way down here. So there are other smaller ASICs like this that I could have included, but they're either making 1 or 2 cents or, 10 to 13 cents. So I'm not going to go including any others in the sub $500 price range because you're not going to make anything, right? And I don't want to lead you guys in the wrong direction. But look, I've got this one. I've got a couple of them, used them. Like I said, a really easy way to start if you are interested. But with Alephium at the moment, the hash rate has just skyrocketed, and these tiny little miners often are the first things to get phased out. So we'll step it up here into the next category. We've got $500 to $1,000 here. This is the gold shell. It's a mini Doge 3 Plus. So this is a script miner, 810 megahash, give or take 5%, 500 watts at the wall. So this is another box miner, really easy to set up and really silent. So you can run this at home. It doesn't take any expertise to set up. And fortunately, it is profitable to the tune of $1.12. This is at 10 cents electric in the States. I've got everything at the same price just to give it some uniformity. So script mining doing really well at the moment, which we all like because script's banging and hopefully Doge is going to go far. You can see this is making its profit mostly off merge mining. I have another video on how to do that. If you're interested, check that out. So it's mining 3 different script coins: Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Bell's coin. And the price point, 770 bucks. So not super cheap, obviously, depending on what your budget is, but definitely affordable. About a 1.5 year ROI at current prices. And just some more specs down here below. The gold shell units, in my experience, are well made, so you're not necessarily going to have to worry about, warranties or anything like that. But obviously, every case is different. For me, they've been completely fine. So we see down here also less than 35 decibels. You won't even know this thing's running. It's got automatic fan control, so you won't have to worry about heat. The only issue necessarily is the efficiency. They're not very efficient compared to some of the newer miners that come out, but in these first couple of categories, you're going to see that, yes, there is some profit to be made, but they're not going to be as efficient or as profitable. It's basically the more you spend, the more you make, right? Like anything else. So that will be the first in our $500 to $1,000 category, the Gold Shell Mini Doge 3 Plus. Next up, we have the Ice River AL2 Lite. This is an Alephium miner, 2 terahash at 500 watts. Very similar in layout to the gold shell. It's a little box miner, PowerPoint right here. You plug it on, you log into your router, you set up a wallet, and you're away. So this one coming in at $1,050, but I am an affiliate with Crypto Miner Bros. So check out the link in the description if you wanted to grab one of those. Use my code BEARMINER, you will save 70 bucks. So tucks it in just under the $1,000 mark. This again is silent. Oh, yes, there I am. Wasn't expecting that. Noise level 45 decibels. So again, You won't even know it exists. 500 watts, it can plug into any outlet. And Alephium's a coin I'm really bullish on. I think it's got a lot of promise and a lot of room to grow. Currently only making about 62 cents. So, you know, if you look at the current price, it is down about 60% or so. So imagine you double that price almost. And then with the potential price appreciation, it could do really well. Not financial advice, obviously, but I've got a few of these just mining away. We can see here the price trends. So, you know, they were obviously a lot more expensive, 1,100 bucks, down to 750. They've gone back up again. I think this says the price trend is 750. So you can get these a little cheaper if you go to other sort of purchases. I'm an affiliate with Crypto Miner Bros, so we will be showing their products, and Ice River also. So a good little miner. Hasn't been phased out in efficiency yet, but there are some really big, powerful Alephium miners that are coming online now. So still making a bit of profit, but for how long? As we said previously, right down the bottom here, you know, the smaller, less powerful miners, less efficient miners are always going to be the first things to go when everything else comes online. So that's the AL2 light there. I really like these. So but yeah, pretty solid miner in my opinion. Haven't had any issues so far. Some people have said they've had issues with some of the other miners, Ice River miners, but for me, so far so good. So kicking it up a notch now into our $1,000 to $2,000 category. We've got here the iPolo V2X. This is an Ethereum classic miner, an ETH hash miner. That's the algorithm it's using. It says it's got water cooling in here as well. So I presume it has some small fans with a water cooler in it. Very quiet as well. I think down here it said around 55 decibels. So a little bit louder than the other miners, but on those other miners, if the fans are at 100%, they may be at around this decibel rating as is. So what I like about this iPolo V2X, and I don't think it has been released just yet. No, it's coming out in a few months. So now what I like about this iPolo V2 the most is that it's an Ethereum classic miner, right? You know, the #2 market cap coin. It's not going anywhere since Ethereum's gone to proof of stake. It's been hard to find a lot of profit on it. Obviously, you know, you can mine with your GPUs something else and get paid into Ethereum. But as far as an Ethereum classic, this has been a bit of a dark horse. You know, people have been ticking away with Ethereum classic miners, and I think this iPolo V2X is a really, really good one. Once again, can use it at home, 165 watts and very, very efficient, making about $1.22 a day, which we like. And I think down here, no, there was an efficiency chart, but this is among the most efficient Ethereum classic ETH hash miners you can get. So when this comes out, a few more months till April, but I think this is going to be a really, really good one. And I think the stability, you know, of Ethereum classic is something that, you know, may make you lean a little more to something like this, as opposed to something like, you know, say Alephium, which is a little bit more speculative. You know what you're getting with Ethereum classic. So that is the first of our $1,000 to $200 miners, $1,000 to $2,000 miners, I should say, the iPolo V2X, due to be released in April 2025. So in the same price category, also due to be released in April this year, is the Volkminer Mini Dogecoin miner. So this is a script miner by Volkminer. Now, what I will say about this in particular, Volkminer is a newer company. Most of these other products, you know, like ones that will be coming up later and ones we've shown in the past, I've used before, right? So I can vouch for the quality and the companies. I have not worked with Volkminer before. I do not have any of their products. So this is a risk that you would have to take if you were going to do your own research, but the numbers on it are really good. It's script, like we said, you know, so Dogecoin, Litecoin, Bells Coin, a bunch of others. You know, it's plug and play at home, you know, 500 watts, very quiet as well, according to these specs, 35 decibels, weighs around 4 kilos. So, you know, it's got a bit of weight. You know, it's not just some flimsy thing. Weight is often good with tech, right, to an extent. But the numbers on it look really nice for when it's to be released. You know, $5.25 profit a day for a miner that's only pulling 500 watts, makes no noise, and can plug into a standard outlet. Seems really, really good. This is getting its profit again from the merge mining, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bells Coin. You can directly mine Dogecoin, or you can mine on NiceHash, mine script, and get paid out in Bitcoin is what they do on NiceHash there. So look, hopefully this will deliver what they say it's going to. 2.2 gigahash, 500 watts. And this again is among the most efficient of the script miners, pretty close up there with even some of the big boys. So if this is what it says it's going to be, I think this could be a really, really good miner to grab when it's released in April. To round out our $1,000 to $2,000 home miner category, we have the DG Home 1 from ALPH. Now, I have recently got one of these, got it online, and let me tell you, the quality of these miners compared to some of these other box miners, it is a bit of a league above. You can just feel it, you can see it. It just comes across as a much, much better made miner. Now, mine's only been online for a couple of weeks, so time will tell, but so far so good for me. So coming in right at around the $2,000 mark, it's a script miner again, so Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bellscoin, you've heard me say that before. 2.1 gigahash or 2100 megahash at 630 watts. Now this isn't quite as efficient as the Volk miner says it will be, but really, really nice. It's got Wi-Fi, it's water cooled, it's silent, it's plug and play as well. You know, 100 to 240 volts, so it can go in on any outlet around the world, any standard outlet. So a really, really easy option for you if you're looking to get into mining some script, some Dogecoin and things like that. And making $4.50 a day as well. So nice and profitable at the moment. Hopefully that will just continue to grow and grow and grow. You can see when these first came out, the price point on them, people really, really like these miners. They're going up and up and up, you know. So what's that, 2,300, 2,000 bucks, something like that. So somewhere between that range now. You might be able to get them a little cheaper somewhere, like on Miner Bros. Make sure you check that out. Throw my code in if you can. See if it'll get yourself a little bit cheaper, but I haven't looked around too much for these. I know they're around about that $2,000 price range. So pretty efficient, not as efficient as the Volk miner or some of the bigger miners, but a really, really nice. Oh, look, bang, we're there again. We'll take that. Sorry, sidetracked. 22 kilos this weighs, so yeah, got a bit of junk in the trunk. It does say 65 decibels. Look, 65 decibels isn't particularly loud, but let me tell you, it's not that loud. You don't even notice it. Like, I wouldn't even know this thing's on, you know, if I didn't turn it on myself. So ALPH DG Home 1, this will round out our $1,000 to $2,000 home miners for 2025. So the next category we're looking at is at-home miners, ones that you can plug in at home in a $3,000 to $5,000 mark. Now this is the Flu miner, the L1. It's another script algorithm, miner, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Bellscoin, coming in at anywhere from $3,200 to $5,000. Now I presume this is based on your delivery batch. Yeah, so if we go later, it'll be cheaper. Yeah, so anywhere in between that $3,200 to $5,000 mark. This is over on yesmining.com. 5.3 gigahash, 1200 watts. So, you know, if you live in somewhere that has, you know, 110 volt outlets, then you may not be able to plug this in straight away. Talk to your electrician about that. But for the rest of the world where we've got 240, this will plug in, no dramas, and get mining away. The numbers on it are really, really nice. Super, super efficient. Super, super profitable. You know, if those are the actual numbers that come out, I don't have one of these personally. I'm going off the data sheets here, but you know, 12 bucks, 40 decibels, plug and play. Seems like a really, really good bet. And script again, which I like. You know, it's a big boy. It's got a big market cap, so you know you're not about to just, you know, have this fall over on the side and all of a sudden be making absolutely no money. You know, some of the newer adopted cryptocurrencies that don't have the hash rate and don't have the market cap yet, when you put a lot of these sort of miners online, your profitability can drop drastically. So that wouldn't be something I'd be too concerned about here with the Flu miner. But once again, disclaimer, a newer company. I haven't used Flu miner products. I'm just putting my trust in the fact that they're going to deliver what they say they're going to deliver. So do your own research there as well. But if the numbers match up, then it'll be a really, really nice one for the price point, I think. So next up in the 3 to 5,000 at-home ASIC mining category, we've got the Bombax EZ100C. This is another Ethereum classic miner. So coming in at right around $4,299 over here on Crypto Miner Bros, free shipping, PSU included. So a really, really good little miner. Bombax, look, it does have a reasonable reputation. Once again, I haven't personally used them, but I do know people who have and haven't had too many issues. So do your own research as always if you were thinking about getting one of these. Currently out of stock, as you can see. This does 3,800 mega hash or 3.8 gigahash here on Ethereum Classic at 760 watts. So this is among the most efficient in its class. It's quiet, it's low power, so it's perfect for what we want running miners at home. You don't want to be able to hear them. Currently making $3.18 a day. Now it's Ethereum Classic. It's got a tested hash rate, so you're not going to be too worried about turning this online and then a week later the hash rate just absolutely skyrocketing and your rewards dumping. But you know, you never know. You can make that judgment yourself. So this seems like a really, really good miner for home. 760 watts, so it can go into a you know, a 110, 120 volt outlet. Really, really good. 760 watts, quiet, super efficient, reasonable price point, depending on how you look at this sort of stuff. Look, a pretty long ROI, but these are set and forget as well. Sit them on, set up your wallet, they mine away, and fingers crossed you never have an issue. Before you know it, you look back a couple of years later, you've made your money back, and then you're all in the profit, all in the green. So that's what it's all about. All right, for our next category, we're looking at the $3,000 to $5,000 mark. These are not recommended for at-home mining. So the reason being is that, as you can see right here, 3,500 watts, this AL3 is pulling. So it's not something you're gonna be able to run on a standard outlet, and they are gonna be noisy. So take that into account when we're looking at these next three. You can run them at home if you want, but 75 decibel fans are gonna wear on you pretty quick. So let's take a closer look. The Ice River ALPH AL3, it is an Alephium miner like we saw before with the AL2, but much, much more powerful, 15 terahash at 3,500 watts, more efficient than the AL2, you know, more yield, and it's more expensive. So, you know, it says here the voltage is 200 to 250, so you're not gonna be able to run this, you know, on a 110 outlet. You're gonna need to get something installed properly for that. Doesn't have the fan noise in here. It should somewhere else if we look below. But take my word for it, these are really, really loud. I've seen them in person. This is making $5.33 at the moment. Nice and efficient, really good hash rate. A lot of these have been coming online lately. If you were to look at this number 3 weeks ago, it would have been at around the 20-something dollar mark. So that's a good example of what can happen when a lot of hash rate comes online. But as I said, I'm bullish on Alephium. So I think this is a really, really good miner to have if you wanted to get it hosted at a really good electric rate and don't want to have to deal with it. The Ice River ALPH AL3, I think, has definitely got a lot of potential. Moving on in the same category, $3,000 to $5,000 not at home miners. We've got the Bitmain Antminer KS5 Pro. This is a Kaspa miner, 21 terahash, the most efficient in its class, and a really, really good price, $2,899. Now, yes, this is a little bit cheaper than what we said, the 3,000 and 5,000, but I thought I'd throw this in anyway because we're only stepping up from here. Kaspa miner, Kaspa hash rate's already gone insane, and this thing is still doing really, really well. You know, $5.71 profit, that's at 10 cents electric. If you host it at 8 cents, you can get even more money out of this and really ROI quickly. 150 joules per terahash efficiency, 3,150 watt. Like we said, you won't be able to run this at home on any standard outlet, so make sure you get an electrician to install that. If you did want to run it at home, I wouldn't recommend it. That's why we've put it in the not at home category. But you can see $5.54, most profitable on NiceHash. So that's mining the K heavy hash algorithm and getting paid out in Bitcoin. Only a slight difference though, as you can see, $5.64 worth of Kaspa. I think it's probably making a little bit more than that, just a heads up. I've got a couple of other Kaspa miners and I think it's probably doing a little bit better than those numbers, but let's just go off what we can see now. Mining Now is a really good website for this. It updates live, so we're going to assume it's pretty close. And you look at the price trends. Gee, you wouldn't have been wanting to buy one. Oh, well, you like back in June, $21,000 with the hash rate that was online at that point. You know, it might have been worth it. Nah, not a chance. 30 grand. You'd still be paying it off back then. I definitely don't think it's worth, but for 2.5, or what was it? 2,899. Great buy, and get it hosted. Don't deal with the noise. 76 decibels. For fans, these things will be absolutely screaming, but still a really good miner, and it's Kaspa, so the hash rate's not going to go too much further. Well, it won't spike from here. It'll probably gradually climb, but we've sort of done that spike already. Now, to round out our $3,000 to $5,000 miners for 2025, we've got the Bitmain Antminer S21 Hydro. This is a 302 terahash unit, all the way up to a 335 terahash unit. Look at these numbers, 3,560 watts. So you're not going to be able to run this at home off a standard outlet. You are going to need to get an electrician to do something like this, but I would recommend, especially with Bitcoin mining and looking at the profitability numbers, get this hosted, get the cheapest electric rate you possibly can. Currently, this is making $8.49, so not too bad if you believe in Bitcoin and you're planning on stacking Bitcoin. Look, if I was in a situation where I could just get this one hosted, I'm already paying that much electric for all the stuff I've got at the moment. I'd really consider one of these. This looks like a really good unit. So like we said, $8.30. This is on Fractal Bitcoin, which is still on the SHA-256 algorithm. A little bit less mining Bitcoin directly, which is interesting, but very efficient, amongst the most efficient in its class, and a really good price point. The noise isn't going to be too bad on this one, 50 decibels. It is water cooled, as you can see. That's why it's called the Hydro. So if you're into Bitcoin mining, this could be a really good option. All right, our very last category. This is the $10,000 plus category, not at home. Once again, very loud, high power draw, and also very expensive. So to start it off, the most efficient in its class, the Antminer L9. This is a script miner coming in at a whopping $12,750 US. So you're going to pay a pretty penny for these. You can look at the profitability. Obviously, it's dropped significantly by about 30-40%. But you know, this is on script, like we said, so it does have a big hash rate. Price is down a little bit at the moment, and it is tested in that hash rate size. So the same as the Kaspa miners, it is going to gradually grow and grow, but we're not going to see those huge big spikes like we saw on Alephium. This is currently making a whopping $40 a day at 10 cents electric. And if you're hosted with anyone like TerraHashes or you know any of those other companies, you can get 8 cents, 9 cents. You're making even more money. 0.21 joules per megahash, super efficient, the most efficient in its class. You know, when you look at just the profit, you know, $14,972. This thing's paying itself off in a year. That's a great investment. Less than a year, a really good investment if you've got the stomach for it and if you've got the capital for it, right? Look, like we said, this is going to be noisy. I wouldn't recommend running these at home. Big power draw, heat, lots of noise. Get these hosted if you can. That's why I've recommended for this little section. But Bitmain Antminer L9, script miner, Dogecoin, Litecoin, really nice unit. The most profitable, if I'm not mistaken, or close to, out of all of the ASICs that you're going to see in this video and anything that you can buy on the market right now. Next up, we have the Jasminer X44-P. This is an Ethash Ethereum classic ASIC miner. Jasminer, very good reputation in the industry, long lasting, and this one is super efficient. It's 23,400 megahash or 23.4 gigahash at just under 2,400 watts. So you could technically run this on a 10 amp 240 volt outlet, but you'd be going well above your 80% rule. You'd be using 96 or something percent of that outlet's power draw. So I would not recommend running this at home. It doesn't have the noise specs on here from what I could see, but it's an ASIC mining setup, triple fan. These are your Delta fans. They're going to be really, really loud. I'd assume in that 75 decibel range again. So do not run this at home unless you want to hear those fans, deal with the heat and deal with the power. So like we said, ETH hash, you'll be mining Ethereum Classic as Ethereum is no longer mineable, making a nice $25.22 a day, $9,000 a year. So you're looking at about a year and a half or so, just over to ROI at current prices. So really, really not too bad. It is the most efficient in its class, if I'm not mistaken. As we've said many, many times, efficiency is king. Oh, it actually says here 2,550 watts. Well, I guess that is because of the plus minus 10%. So yeah, definitely do not run this on an outlet at home. You will run into trouble. So get an electrician to do that if you wanted to. But as I've said 10 times already in this video, I wouldn't recommend you run this at home. Get it hosted somewhere safe. Don't deal with the noise, power, and heat. But a really, really nice miner. This one's coming out this month. I'm not sure if they've started shipping yet, but it's due any day now. You know, just under 10 grand a year, Ethereum Classic. I think this is a really, really nice miner to get if you've got the stomach, the risk appetite, and of course, the capital. All right, so finally to round off, you know, our $10,000 plus big boy ASIC miners, we've got the Bitmain Antminer S21 XP. This is a hydro-cooled bit miner coming in at a nice $13,500. Geez, some of these are so expensive. And pulling 5,676 watts. So an absolute hog of a power draw this thing's got. You know, it's going to be loud. It doesn't say, does it say here what the noise is? Regardless, it'll be reasonably loud, I should say. It is water cooled, so expect at least around that 60 decibel mark. But with the power draw alone, you know, you're not going to be running this at home. A nice 14 kilograms as well, so definitely a big rig of a unit. And make it about $16.55 a day. 473 terahash, 12 joules per terahash. So super, super efficient, this thing. You can see the price point coming down on these just a little bit. Where were we? 11,900 down to 10,880 is the cheapest you can get this. So that actually makes it a lot better if you can find them that cheap. Like I said, I'm an affiliate with Miner Bros. Everyone's always generally very happy with their service. So if you want to go somewhere else and someone a little less known, that's up to you to save a bit of money. But at 10,000 bucks puts you at sort of just under 2 years for an ROI. Of course, mining the SHA-256 algorithm. So that will round off our $10,000 plus. Do not host or do not mine at home. Sorry, crypto ASIC miners. That is gonna wrap it up, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. We covered a ton of different ASICs throughout this video, all different price ranges, all different applications, coins, pretty much everything. I feel like this is a pretty comprehensive list and hopefully will give you guys a little bit more insight for different applications, whether you want to run them at home, you know, low risk, low reward, or even high risk, high reward, hosting, all that sort of stuff. So let me know if you've got any of these, you know, if anyone's got some of the newer miners or has any experience with the Flu miner, Volk miner. I'd be really interested to know your thoughts down in the comments. And hopefully that little analysis helped some of you guys into making some more informed decisions. But remember, always do your own research. I'm going to call it there, guys. Hit the like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.